Welcome to Multiverse. So we're going to continue playing with our Batman character. Basically, I've made previous walkthrough videos. Basically, our character reached level 15. It's a hero. He's mentored by Batman. His powers are gadget, martial arts is the weapon he uses, and the movement is acrobatic. Today, we're going to take a look at the Lair system with our little Batman character. Basically, we've reached a point where we can give a Lair to our little Batman friend. Not sure. There we go. So today we reach a point where we can give a Lair to our little Batman friend. So we're going to do that. So basically, in order to be able to give a Lair to your Batman friend, you have to first play the Watchtower mission. At some point, when you finish what we could qualify the first part of the mentor storyline, let's take a quick look, or the main storyline, I should say. Like you can see the main missions. Once you reach roughly around level, we pretty much reached level 14. It unlocked a mission where we could go explore the Watchtower. Once you're finished exploring the Watchtower, you get a mission to be able to go to the vault with your friend Ambush Bug. Although before that, you do get the research and development mission. And once you do all those missions, then you can gain access to your lair with a mission that is known as Home is where your base is. So let's complete that. So what this does is that it gives you two lairs. It gives you the Gothic lair and it gives you the Deco lair. So let's consume those.
Good. Now that you have a theme for your base, you need to get a deed. These are used to actually grant base ownership and to select a location for the entrance.
So basically now we have to complete Homestead to get the deed to be able to gain access to our lair. But before I do that, I will go to the marketplace. I hope you can forgive me. I'll probably take a minute or two to basically redeem a whole bunch of stuff I have in the marketplace. Basically, as you saw, the game gives you two lairs. And if you are a free-to-play player or a premium player that does not have the lair system purchased, they are going to give you a dive, which is a very small lair. I may as well show you. Where is it? It might be in upgrades then. There's also something known as the Lair system that you have to purchase if you are not. Oh, there it is. So there's this little thing called the Lair system. If you are a legendary player, it's granted to you automatically. If you are a premium or a free-to-play player, you do not have the lair system. So basically what DC Universe Online will do is that it will give you a very small lair that is known as the dive. I have a video. I have a whole bunch of videos about the lairs. If you want more information, search through my videos for my lair videos. And also I have a video where I show every single lair in DC Universe Online. So if you want to see what the dive looks like, look for my dive video. If you want to see what the cave lair looks like, look for my cave lair videos, and so on. But basically, in order to be able to gain full access to the lair system, you have to purchase the lair system, which as you can see is 450 marketplace cash. Or you have to be a legendary player. As you can see, because I am a legendary player, the lair system is granted to my character. The same with other things like utility belt skimming, the shield weapon, and a whole bunch of other stuff, and pretty much all the powers. So I hope you can forgive me. I will redeem a whole bunch of stuff that I purchased for my lairs in the past. Let's get our workstation. There's a whole bunch of styles I should probably try to redeem at some point. We'll see. And also a whole bunch of letters of legend characters. Although I don't plan to play legend with this character, so I probably won't do that. So you can see I've purchased the Eastern Lair, the Sewer Lair, the Penthouse Lair, the Bunker Lair, the Tech Lair, the Industrial Lair, Ancient Lair. So basically whenever a lair would be on sale, I would purchase it. Or whenever the lairs would be on sale, I would purchase one or two lair. And also there's amenities that you can purchase for your lair. In this case, you can see here. Let's get our little Tombot. You can see you can purchase the mailbox, the bank, the broker, the R&D station, the respect station. I made videos about all those amenities. I made videos how you can get all those amenities for free if you want, so you could look at those videos. The one amenity that you cannot get for free is the teleporter. The one exception to that would be if you are a legendary player, you get 500 loyalty points per month. So you could decide to save up your loyalty points and purchase the teleporter. It's pretty much the only way to get it quote unquote for free. But one way or another, you're gonna have to pay in order to get the teleporter. Either you're gonna have to purchase the teleporter itself, which I think is $10, or you are going to have to be legendary, and then you are going to have to accumulate your loyalty points in order to be able to purchase the teleporter. And let's see, what else do we need? So as you can see, I purchased a whole bunch of stuff in the past 7 years, or actually it's 8 years now, playing DC Universe Online. Damn, it goes by fast. I keep on looking. Oh, there we go. So I was looking for the Brainiac Lair and the Atlantean Lair. And recently, or fairly recently, they added the Brainiac Lair and the Atlantean Lair. And these Lair are slightly bigger than the rest. Again, I made videos about those Lairs. So if you want to have more information or to see exactly what those Lairs look like, search through my videos for those. Oh well, little friend was showing us his nice little crown. Well, let's give him a little bow because we can. So let's complete the homestead mission. It will give us our deed. So in order to be able to get your lair, let's consume all our lairs before we forget. I'll show you all the lairs in just a minute. Basically, when I'm going to try to select my lair, and I consumed also the amenities. The amenities, once you consume them, you can use them for every single lair you have. So for the deed, let's consume the deed. Once you try to consume the deed, basically it will ask you where you want to set up your lair. We can go into either in Metropolis or in Gotham City. This being the Batman, we're going to create our lair in Gotham City. And you can see here you have the Tech Lair, the Ancient Lair, the Sewer Lair, the Eastern Lair, the Gothic Lair. The Gothic Lair is one of the lair you got for free. There's the Bunker Lair. The Deco Lair is the other lair we got for free. So basically the two free lairs are the Gothic Lair or the Deco Lair. The Cave Lair, the Penthouse Lair, the Industrial Lair, the Brainiac Lair, and the Atlantean Lair. The Tech Lair, I think we got, there we go. I would be tempted to go for the Cave Lair, because this is the Batman, but in order to be able to use a lair that pretty much anyone can use, I'm going to use the Gothic Lair. So again, the two lair you get when you at startup is the Gothic Lair or the Deco Lair. So let's use the Gothic Lair. And now we have to select a location for our lair. Depending on the lair we want to have, I hate when I do that. Depending on the lair you want to have, some may cost you only cash, and some may cost you marks of victory. For example, you can see here there's a lair you can get on Arkham Asylum, but it's 3,250 cash, and it's 25 marks of victory. At this point, early in the game, odds are you won't have 25 marks of victory. You can see right now I have 14 marks of victory. But you can see there's a whole bunch of lairs that cost like 525 cash, 700 cash. I think there's one over here. Again, here you can see in the amusement mile, you can have your lair in the amusement mile, but again, 25 marks of victory are required. So we're going to go, well, let's see. Let's stay in Gotham, but no reason to spend all our cash. There we go. We'll go here for 525 cash. So once we chosen our location, we click on it. It says yes. So do you want to enter your base? Absolutely.
This is your mainframe, the nerve center of your lair. You can use it to gain access to powerful tools like orbital strikes, backup reinforcements, and powerful equipment mods. Your main is your dispenser, where you'll retrieve the items that you've selected in the mainframe, such as communicators for your backup and orbital strikes. Finally, this is your base's control panel. It's used to enter decoration mode, alter some of the colors of your base, and for other utility purposes.
So, as Oracle mentioned, let's start with the control panel. So, as you enter your lair, you see right next to the entrance, there's a little console here. You can see there's, by default, they gave the lair my Batman emblem. But you could, let's go into decoration mode. You see you have a whole bunch of options. You can open the color menu, and you can see the amount of armories you have placed, the amount of amenities you have placed. You can place up to 16 armories, you can place up to 10 amenities, you can place up to 500 base items, and you can see markers to unlock free placement mode. Basically what that says is that once you've placed 20 items in your base, you're going to unlock free placement mode, and when you do, you're going to be able to put items anywhere in your base. I'll show it to you, it'll make more sense than trying to explain it. But before we do that, let's open the color menu just to show you. So we'll go for L1. So basically here, if you want to be able to select another emblem, you can. And basically every emblem your character has collected, these are going to be the choices you have to set up as an emblem for your lair. There's a few items like there's the tide hanging decorative drapes that can show up the emblem of your character on the walls. I made a video about that. Basically, some of you guys were wondering how at some point I had some walls with a whole bunch of emblems of my character. That's how I was able to do it. And you can set up the colors of your lair. Some of the newer lair, like the Brainiac lair and the Atlantean lair, you cannot change the colors, but most lairs you should be able to customize the colors a bit. So you can see the black, the red, and the yellow. It'll make a bit more sense in just a minute. So let's save everything. Oh, not sure why we lost the emblem here. So let's exit. So you can see there's the yellow part that will change depending on which color you use. For the black, I think it's on the walls, and I forget where the red actually shows. That doesn't really matter. And for those who are free-to-play players or premium players, the game gives you a little dive hideout. The hideout is basically a tiny lair. Let's consume this. The hideout is roughly about as big as this one room here. This is pretty much what your hideout is. And within your hideout, you would have the mainframe, you would have the generator, and all that. I will show you the mainframe right now because we can. The mainframe is the place where you can go in order to be able to purchase things like your sidekicks, your backups. A sidekick is just one sidekick that will follow you, but it has multiple abilities. It can give you power, it can shield you, and a whole bunch of stuff like that. Backups pretty much do only one thing. They attack any enemy that your character is attacking. Orbital strike summons a big laser from the sky that strikes your enemies. Supply drops actually summon a supply drops that will heal you and give you power back, and anyone in your group that goes through the supply drop. And the tactical mods are the white mods that you can put in your gear. So you can purchase those if you want to. But in order for your generator to work, you have to pay, I think it's every 30 days or 60 days, I forget. But you have to pay to replace the cells. At this point, I don't have enough cash, so I won't do that just yet. And you can give permissions to either players to enter your base, or you can give the permission to entire league. Like, so you could set up, let's say, the Flashback Universe League to be able to enter your base, and anyone in the Flashback Universe League would be able to enter the base. And also you can set up whether they can enter, whether they can move items, and whether they can use amenities in your base. And if we go downstairs, we have the generator over here. In the generator, there's a few things. Basically, these are the armories that we could set up. We could set up to 4 armories, but you would see right now we don't have any. But to the right, you would see all the armories you have, and you could choose among all those to set up 4 armories on your D-pad. Again, here we can come here to replace the cells, and here there's a whole bunch of mods. There's mods for the teleporter that we can have. There's some blue mods that we can have either for health and power. There's some support mods, which are either vitalization or I forget the other one. And there's some offense mods, which pretty much means might mods or precision mods. And there's some affinity mods that have to do with your elite gear. If you have any affinity mods, basically if you have like 2 pieces of elite gear, you will get this affinity mod. If you have I think 4 pieces of elite gear, you will get this affinity mod. If you have 6 pieces of elite gear, it will you will have this affinity mod. And if you have all the elite gear, then you're gonna have all the mods, something like that. Doesn't really matter until you reach the point where you can have elite gear. And here, this is where you go. Also, well, like you saw, we got the little dive, but also if you want to have your backup, if you want to have your white mods, your sidekick, all that stuff, this is where you would go in order to be able to get them. So right now, well, let's go to our journal. So we can complete the Home Sweet Home mission for now. And what happens is that it gives us a few base items. It gives us a little table. Let's consume that. It gives us a lamp. Let's consume that. And it gives us the classic dinner clock. So let's consume that. We could consume the, let's say, mischievous brief and place it somewhere. We're not going to do that just yet. So let's go back here. Decoration mode.
In decorator mode, you can place your items at the appropriate markers. While most base items are cosmetic, there are amenities you can acquire that have very specific functions like bank, mail, and broker access. However, amenities can only be placed at specific markers. Once you've filled up enough markers, you will unlock free placement mode and be able to place base items almost anywhere. So, that about wraps it up. I'm sure you'll uncover even more interesting things about your base. Good luck. And don't forget to try placing those items. Oracle out.
So in the case of base items, at first you have no choice. You have to put them within those blue circles here. Once you've placed 20 base items, then you can place them anywhere. But at first, you have no choice. You have to put them, like if you can see here, I can put the dinner clock here. But if I click outside of the circle, no dinner clock. Because at this point, I have no choice. I have to put the items within the circles. The same with on the ceiling. So let's put our lamp here. And the same with on the ground. Like again, if we click outside of the circle, nothing. If we click inside of the circle, we can place our little table here. So once we've placed 20 base items anywhere, like we can see we're up to 3 out of 20. Once we've placed 20 of them, we're going to be able to place items anywhere. Like we could put the little table here. The one good thing also about the circle is that if at some point you decide that you want to change your lair or you want to move your lair, any items that you put within the circles will remain there. But every items outside of the circles will be reset, and you're gonna have to replace them. You're gonna have to put them again in your lair. And third, in the case of amenities, like again, if I click outside and nothing happens, but if I go within that little circle here, you guys remember I went to the marketplace to be able to get my amenities. So these are the amenities that I want to get. Let's here, I'm going to put our teleporter. And again, the teleporter count as an amenity, even if technically that wasn't the case originally. We can see here I pull up my little mailbox here. And again, the amenities have to be within those purple circles. There's no escaping it. We have no choice. We cannot put them here. We cannot even put them in the other circles. We have to put the amenities within the purple or pink circles, depending on what you prefer. So let's put our little bank here. And let's put, I think I forgot one. That doesn't matter. Let's put our R&D here. You don't have to put them where I put them. It's just the way I came to get used to putting them. So usually I put my respect station here. A bit later I'll probably get the few that I'm missing. And for the broker, I have a tendency to put it here. Again, no real reason other than that's what I'm used to doing. You can pretty much do what you want. So once we've done that, so you can see we've placed our amenities, so we can use them whenever we want. So let's go back to our journal. I love lamp, so we can complete that. And then we can go back again, and now we're going to be able to set up our first armory. The first armory in this universe online is free, which is why you see armory free. Sadly, if you want to have any more armories, you have to purchase them. There's no other ways. You could decide to purchase them using loyalty points, and as you saw, I just consumed my armory. So let's go back to our control panel, enter decoration mode, and again we are going to, until we unlock free placement mode, we're at 9 of 20 right now. So until we unlock free placement mode, we have to put the armory within the little circles. Sadly, there's nothing we can do about that right now. But eventually, once we do unlock free placement mode, then we are going to be able to put our armories anywhere we like. Like if you guys saw my bases with 16 armories, you understand what I'm talking about. So we've placed our armory. Let's get out of here. I think we have to, yeah, not yet. So once we've set up our armory, we have to imprint it. So let's imprint that. So basically you can see the imprint menu. We can imprint everything. If we decide, we can just imprint the appearance of our character. We can just imprint the trade and loadout of our character if we want to. We can just imprint the equipment, or we could just imprint the title. And the same for activating it. We could decide to just activate the appearance, activate the traits and loadout, activate the equipment, activate the title. So we could set up a whole bunch of armories just with the appearance, and just change the appearance of our character if we want to. We can rename it. Usually my first armory, I would name it quite simply DPS. And I would name, let's say, my second armory controller or troll in this case. So DPS, okay. And icon, we can select an icon for our armory. Let's select that little icon here, and I guess we're good to go. So if we go into our, R2 and L2 all at once, it opens up a little menu that we can control using our D-pad. In this case, we only have the one armory, so nothing really happened. But normally we would be able to set up 4 armories. And if we go back to our generator, and also to be able to complete the mission, we have to go back like the lock and load mission. So we've set up our armory, and now we have to use the generator. So let's do that. At the same time, I'll be able to explain it to you. So within the generator, you can see like we have our DPS one over here. We would have all our armories over here. We could have up to 16 armories over here, but within our D-pad, we can only have 4. So we could set up 16 armories here, and then on the fly, whenever we want to, go to our generator, and on the fly, decide which 4 armories we're going to be using. I'll try to show you also an example of what happens. So let's say I would change the look of my character, or I would change some of the equipment of my character, and I don't kind of like that. Then I could decide to just change it back. So let's go here, none, and one more, none. So let's say I change the look of my character like this, and decide, nah, I don't like it so much. No problem. I just go to my armory and set it back up. The same with any gear we would have changed, and any changes we would have made, and we decide, I don't like it so much, we could go back to our armory if we want to. Ideally, what you would like to do is that you want to have, let's say, one armory set up for, in this case, DPS. What I would do is that I would have a second armory set up as controller, and then I would switch from DPS to controller depending on what I need. I'm not going to do that with this character. Basically, this is not a character that I'm going to keep in the long run, so I'm just going to use it for. But if I wanted to, like, I have a couple of armories that I didn't use just yet. But again, I'm not going to use that with this character. So with this character, all I will do is that I will just switch role when I need to. And also, that's something I didn't explain previously, I probably should have, is that you can have multiple loadouts. You can have a loadout for damage, you can have a loadout for controller, and you can have a stealth loadout if you use abilities like invisibility or stealth. Do I have stealth? Oh yeah, I do. Oh, that's nice. So basically, you can see here I have the stealth ability. So I can have a different loadout for when my character is in stealth. So let's show you an example of what I mean so that it makes more sense. Let's see. So usually as a controller I would use the defibrillator. This one reduce the damage output. Let's use this one here. Let's use our... Sorry, I shouldn't do that now, but what can you do? Too late, too late. Let's put our stealth here for now. And let's put our taser pull here. That should do it for now. Let's go for neuralizer. There we go. So what I did is that I changed the loadout for my controller, or from my control loadout. So let's get out here. So what would happen is that whenever I switch role, I will switch loadout also. So here you can see I have my DPS loadout, and then I can switch role, and then I'll have my controller loadout. Often I'll see people wonder why their loadout changed. Usually that's why. Sometimes they'll switch role by accident without meaning to, and then they end up with, sorry about that, and then they end up with the wrong loadout because they switch role and they didn't realize. Like if you look right next to my character's name, right next to Batmask, you see that little flame here. It means that I'm in DPS role, and if I switch, you see that little spiral here. That means I'm in controller role, and you can see it reflected in my loadout. So let's switch back again. And before I do anything else, let's re-imprint. Basically, I made some changes to my character, so I'm going to imprint all my changes to my armory. Otherwise, the next time I would have used my armory, my controller loadout would have been messed up. So now we've made sure that even if I use my armory, like if I use my armory, it switched me back to DPS by default. But I can still switch back to controller. So basically I can switch manually like this, or if I decide to, I could switch back to DPS using the armory, because the armory is set up pretty much with the DPS by default. I hope this made some sort of sense. I have a whole bunch of videos about armories if you guys need more information. Just search through my videos for those. And let's see, so we should be done with lock and load, so let's complete it. And we're good. So next we could play the World of Tomorrow mission, or we could play the Doomed Metropolis missions. And I think that's what we're going to do next time.
I'll keep tabs on their progress if you can be my eyes on the ground. Go talk to their lead researcher at Ground Zero.
There's two reasons why I want to play the Metropolis missions just yet. First, way back in my days, we didn't have those missions, so I'm curious to see how it's going to influence the leveling process. And also, if I recall correctly, Supergirl gives us an artifact. So we don't have an artifact just yet with this character. Basically, in order to be able to get artifacts, we have to reach level 20. But I'm curious to see if I play the Supergirl mission right now at level 15. Is she going to give us an artifact? I guess we're going to have to wait and see. So I think that is going to be pretty much it for now, guys. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'll see what I can do about answering your questions. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.